What's up, guys? Welcome to the Ivy League live stream. This is Justin. I just want to make sure we have sound real quick. And I think we do. We're good to go. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for joining me. Sorry for the rough entries. I'm working on them. We're going to get them squared away. It takes a little time to learn all the new stuff. How are you guys doing today? I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. I hope you guys had a great day. If you do not know, we trade Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. And we go over the recap, market news, all that fun stuff right here, Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. Sometimes around 7:30, usually around 8:30 is when we do it. Could be any time. So if you could, take the time if you have not done so. I'm going to tell you why. If you could like this stream, if you could share this stream, and if you could subscribe if you have already not subscribed. All right. Our goal is to try and get to 100 subscribers. That's our small goal. My second goal is after liking, sharing, to be able to get more subscribers, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We come up with a lot of information. We do this free 99. Most importantly, there are people and fund managers and different proprietary traders. There's a lot of people that I would like to be able to bring on this stream. Ultimately, other than the education, the trading, having a group of traders together, my other goal that I would like to have is to be able to bring other people on, right? Some big hitters on here. So if you haven't done so, please like, share, and give us a subscribe. Hit the notification button when we come on. We try and come on here every day to offer you the most valuable information we could give you. And we don't just come on every day, but we want to come on when we can give you the most reasonable, sensible, don't even know what I'm saying right now. But no, seriously, we want to give you guys the most valuable education to be able to help you not only grow your account, but become a better trader. Okay, just because you're growing your account, that's not making you better. Market cycles, knowing different things about the market. There is so much about the market. You're not going to learn it in the course of a year. Because by then, the market's done changed. And then now you got to learn a whole different style of trading. That's one thing you need to do. You need to find your style. All right. We have a lot of stuff we're going to get into. But real quick, I just wanted to say, if you could, please, I urge you to like and share and please subscribe. I have a couple people in mind that I would like to bring on this stream. I can only do that, if it's worth their time. So again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. What are we going to get into tonight? One of the first things I'm going to get into, I'm going to talk about credit, okay? I want to talk about credit, not this long, hour-long thing about credit. And if you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat. Any tickers, any questions, even after this stream is done, I go back and I read the comments. I will get back to you. If you're struggling, if you have a question, there is someone else out there that has the same question as you. Okay, so put it in the chat, and I'm sure someone else will thank you for it. I can almost be certain if you have a question, someone else does. So I want to get into credit. Why do I want to get into credit? Because I want to give you guys an understanding of the chart that I've showed you guys a few times already. Okay, because it's important with this GDP chart right here that we have. Right? This is important because it's showing you the time lag. Now, why would there be a time lag? Now, here's the thing about this time that probably makes the rest of these different. And I don't know because I haven't looked. But that's something I need to do as far as my research. Okay? Understanding that rates were Fed funds rate was at 0.25. Okay, people locked in rates at such a short duration. That's why there's people not selling homes, because they've locked in that rate. Why would somebody move only to pay a higher interest rate? They're not going to. That's why we have this housing issue. 2, let's think about the lag effect, right? Why is there such a lag effect? Let's take, for instance, just one thing. Vehicles, right? Someone needs a vehicle. People get vehicles every, 4 to 7 years, 5 to 7 years, roughly, average. I don't know the actual statistics on that. But what that does is it causes people have to pay more in interest, okay, if they want that vehicle. So if they want that vehicle, they are going to have to, if they want that vehicle or need that vehicle badly at a higher interest rate, okay, this taps into their disposable income. Okay. Now, I'm not one of these perma bears or perma bull. I'm actually perma bull more than anything. I'm not always bullish, but I'm definitely bullish for the most part. But am I blind to think that we could have a pullback? And what I also want you guys to understand is, like, when you hear people talk about recessions and certain people on social media who talk about, like, they just are doomsday to the fullest. There is no way in hell, not even an economist would try to judge or gauge or give a prediction on the type of recession we're going to have, because that is ultimately unknown. Okay, it could probably go into as far as you're going to have to tell me that, you know, you're going to tell me what each and every individual in the United States is doing, if not the world. Okay, how many people are trying? How many people are opening up businesses? How many aren't? How many are working? How many are working part-time? How many people don't have to work? That they just have, whether their spouse makes all the money? So there's just so much stuff that you just can't put into, you know, you can't research. It's not, there's necessarily no data for that. So you can't judge how bad or how soft a recession is going to be. It's just, it is what it is. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That will be surprising. But you're already seeing the indicators tell you that, you know, there's a contraction. So if you guys don't already, again, you guys can screenshot this if you'd like. This is so important right here. That you can just go over this, and maybe if you're not told or don't know how to read it, but once it's told to you and really explained to you, and there's probably more about this than I even know. But for the most part, this is giving you the lag effect, right? It's doing more than just the lag effect. The last 2 years, why is the middle part, which is during rate hike cycles, why is it still up? We just had GDP numbers. They were up. It's not surprising, though. I've had this chart for a while now. So I thought chances are we're going to have a decent number. It wouldn't surprise me. All I really have to do is go outside or go take a drive in the middle of a day on a Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, when people should be at work, and it is just crowded. It's like, where are all these people coming from? Why is nobody, like, at work? What the heck is going on here? Right? Now, it's going to vary state to state. People could be leaving to go into different states for different reasons, you know, but I can tell you, as I have just noticed, that there is just so much. There's so much going on where I'm at. It's unreal. This middle part is showing you the lag effect because of this right-hand side. You should be reading it really from the right to the left. Not really, but 2 years after. This is when things get bad and the Fed has to cut rates. Quantitative easing. That's when you get this coming out of this. And then when you're trying to get back to like this or this is when you get this. So as you're doing the rate hike cycles, you still have that lasting quantitative easing. Now, we had rates so low. You had so much. I mean, what was it? 800 billion for 2008, and then COVID was what? 2, 3, 4 trillion just in checks for people. 2 trillion for checks for people, and then the, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 on the Fed side. 6, 7, 8. What was it? 8 trillion. I don't know. If somebody could comment down below, what was the amount spent on COVID? I'm just curious. It's got to be up there. It's got to be 6 to 7, 8 trillion. It's got to be, because the Fed doubled their balance sheet. It was around 4.5, I think, just under 5 trillion, and they almost doubled theirs. So this is some of the stuff I want to get into. So if you haven't done so already, I have to remind you to like, share, and if you have not done so, please subscribe again. I have some individuals that I would like to bring on here, and I think you guys and myself will benefit from that. I really do. So why could this could take so long? Because there's so much liquidity. Two, you're going to have issues. You're having issues already with homes not being on the market because they don't want to pay a higher interest rate. But when you start to come into things like vehicles, okay, and people aren't buying vehicles, or people are, but they're paying a higher interest rate, that taps into their disposable income, but they only buy so often, so may take a while. Talking about credit cards, we can go into that. Those are up. So all these things are going to be tapping into people's savings, right? Some of their extra money that they had where they may not be able to go out to dinner. That's why these things take a while, right? It just takes a while. Okay, it's like a little piranha biting at their pockets, my pockets, your pockets, everyone. It is what it is, you know. So hopefully we can get over this though and put it behind us. Ultimately, that's what I'd like to have. We have CPI. So what do we think we're going to have, guys? Do you guys think this CPI is going to be higher? Will it come in line? Will it come in under? Is it the next month? So if you guys remember, and I know members on here can testify, they'll comment and chat if somebody doesn't believe me. And it's okay if you don't believe me. That's okay. I'm not here to be a market guru or be this and that and be right all the time. I'm going to be wrong. I take the amount of time that I've had in the markets, which if you don't know, I've been trading for 7 years, roughly, if not 8, right? So about 6-7 years. I just stopped counting, right? So if you, which I completely forgot what I was saying right there. So CPI, I had said 2 numbers ago that the last number we got for June, so we'll be getting the July number. I was like, it's either June or it's July. Because if you guys remember, last year, okay, now I can't remember month to month, but if you remember, we had that real big uptick. It was like June or July. It was like April, we had, a high uptick, and it was just like steady climbing, and it was like June or July, bang. We got up to that like 7-8 number. It was like 8.5 or 8.3, 8.2, like, it was just up there. And then that following month, what did we have? We had a pullback. So you had a sharp rise, and you had a small pullback, and then it was like August, September's reading that was the top of the charts. I think that's when we hit 9. Right? So that's what I'm kind of looking for. And I thought about this last year. So knowing that last year that I've already planned for now. I already planned for it. So I've already kept it all like in my mind, don't have to write it down, but I just know, I just, from being in the markets, these are things you're going to kind of remember. Because that is what the Fed is trying to get under their belts. They're not trying to get CPI or PPI. They're trying to get PCE, but then again, it's the same difference. Right? It's the same difference. So PCE has been sticky from there, according to them. We are starting to have oil. We're starting to have, which is going to cause food pricing, and things are just starting to become sticky. So could we get a higher reading? We could. And what does that mean? Right? What does that mean for rates? I also said, so real quick, this lag effect, honestly, I don't know if the Fed's going to do more or not. I personally want to say I would think that it's going to have to take this number and the next number to come in higher and higher, these 2 numbers, for them to want to put on another 25 or so. I honestly think that, to start raising their year-end target, right? I think we have 1 more to go, and that's it. They've stuck to the plan. He said, hey, we're pausing. We went from 75 to 50. How do we get from 50 to 25? Well, we can start by pausing, right? Or whatever you want to call it. It's not even really pausing, I guess, because it's just skipping a month, right? We got to 25. We should be getting another one. But do they skip and then do another 25 to get out of it? That makes sense. Could we actually not have a Fed rate hike? Possibly. The chances, I think, are probably slim. But if it would not surprise me if the next Fed meeting, we don't have a rate hike for that matter. But I think they'll just give us the 25 because it's like, let's just do it, get it over with because of the lag effect. So yields, look at the 2-year. This is on a daily chart. This just hit the 50-day. Let me bring it up for you so you guys can see it. All right, let me pan it over. And let me make sure that I also have my charts correct tonight because I don't want to mess that up on you guys. All right, I don't want to mess that up. I could always bring it over, but I still like for you guys to be able to see everything. What's up, Collins? How you doing tonight, bro? I just seen your message. I hope you guys had a great day today. Sorry I had to go early. Yes. So sometimes just, there's other things you got to do. And I was really happy today. So if you don't know, we traded Tesla today. I traded Tesla at least. I called it out in chat. Not only did I call it out, I wrote it out in chat, in the comments. I went over it, right? We're going to cover that. I was going to play back the videos. I just didn't have time. We had a storm, and it was really ripping here. So that's why I was a little late coming on the stream tonight. And if you guys have any sectors or charts you guys want to pull up or anything, again, this is why we do what we do. If you could, like, share, and subscribe. We're here to have a trading group together, or we're here first to have a place to go that people could come, get different trade ideas, go over trades, just become a better trader, become a better person. And second, again, I'm trying to get to the point where I can actually start bringing some people on, some fund managers, proprietary traders, just people in the finance world. I would like to be able to bring them on, right? I would really like to bring them on and be able to interview them, have a chat, go through ideas and stuff like that, because I think that's just something I've always wanted to do. Honestly, it really is. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to go over that Tesla trade. I'm going to go into the SPY. I'm going to go into the Qs disclosure. I did buy both. I bought puts and I bought calls. But as I look on the SPY, I probably should have held. I took profits on my SPY calls today. So what I did was, because I do not have right now at this moment in time a way to reach anyone to let them know what I'm doing, what I'm not doing with the markets. But if you see, right, what I did do. So if you guys don't know now, we do trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. I'll come on a little earlier for whatever reason, maybe a little bit later. But the stream will be set. It'll have the time and everything. So what I do is, if like today I had to go, there's a house that we're trying to get sold, and I was doing some work there, which I may have to do a little bit more tomorrow because I was not able to get that done. We didn't have the weed eater and stuff that I was trying to clean up this yard. So I ended up hanging some, I didn't, but I was helping hang some, whatchamacallits for the windows. So if I go to my channel real quick, guys, so if I'm ever not on the live, what I want you guys to do, until I can physically alert this stuff to you guys, right, I'm going to put it in the comment section. So as you see here, I said I grabbed some SPY puts small for tomorrow, and I'm going to go into why I did that. And I said, off that possible rejection, do not trade this. You will lose money. Again, this is not financial advice. I cannot tell you what to do with your money, but earn the right to take risk. I had a very nice trade today. Made some very good money on Tesla puts. Excuse me. So I took just a little bit of that, a little bit of those profits, and I bought puts, and actually I bought calls because I was looking at the hourly chart, and I'm like, right now, I think I could offset this backside with short-term calls, right? And I took profits at literally, I almost thought I was going to have to limit order because it was going into the close. And I said here, I still think we see so if we're going to get a rejection, it's going to be up around 451, right? So 450, I want to show you guys this. So if I pull up like even an hourly chart, okay, and if I do this without the market open, or without pre-market and after hours, you want to look at both of these because they paint a picture for you. It's just very helpful. Now you can, to see where your supply and demand is, you could really just go to futures, okay? But if you don't have access to be able to see futures charts in real time and this and that, right, you can just have pre-market and aftermarket, whatever. So look at this area right here. So this is one. I'm curious to know if tomorrow we come back, and if we hold this as support tomorrow, now we could just chop around. That's also an option. This is why trading is risky, right? Or I feel like we have a gap below us. I feel like we need to turn this or this into support to climb higher. You did it pre-market, you did it after hours. So there's two things I want to go over with you on the SPY real quick, and then I'm going to go more into depth on the SPY. But I want you to see this level here on the hourly chart, okay? This level here is 450, like 12-ish, right? It's like 450.12. But I have another one right here that I'm looking at, right? I want to see if this holds. 450, it's like 450.50, 450.48, okay? 450.48, yeah. So if you can't see, it is literally right here, okay? Can you guys see this? Let me make it bigger, right? Because you have resistance and support there, okay? Resistance and support right here. I know it's a little tough because it's so big. That's what she said. But resistance, break, support, right? Remember we painted the picture yesterday? So that is an area I'm going to watch to see if this area holds. Because now we broke back up above it. It was prior support. It was prior resistance. It's right here, guys. Sorry. So I'm going to want to watch tomorrow. So why would I also grab puts? Because with this gap up and go on low volume, look at the low volume, guys. Look how low that volume was. To me, that's sellers just stepping away if they're really selling, if they still have more to sell, if they want to sell. I don't know. Trading is risky. We could come back up here tomorrow, right? That's also another logical area. Why would I say that? Well, because, again, it's support, turn it into mild resistance, support again, and then we ran. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that into the mic, right? So these are just areas. Personally, I hope I didn't buy the bottom of the range, but again, I took profits on those calls. So, and even if these puts go to zero, I only put a small amount. I just wanted to have something out there in case of why I'm going to get into it. I still want to see if we can still possibly, if we're going to go lower, put in a lower high. Like ultimately, like if we look at the Qs, right? Now I'm going to turn it all back on. Right? I'm going to turn it all back on. I want to go to the Qs. The Qs look really good, right? The Qs look good. So if I go to a 15-minute chart, right? What I want to do is I want to do this. So you guys can see, like, what do you think would be the next logical thing for the market to do? Like if you're new, it's okay, right? If you're new, it's okay. See, it's a little hard for me to do this with my screen because now I've brought it in on my stuff. But I was looking at it, and when I bring in the Qs, you're going to see this level here is a nice area of rejection, but we still have this that hasn't been made into support, which is actually the mid, like before the Fed meeting. Or yeah, before the meeting and before the paper came out, it was actually the double top, right? You can see it right here. That's this blue bar. That is the high and the low. That is the range before the minutes of that day, or not the minutes, but the rate decision. So what I like to do on Fed days is one, at the end of the day, I take a screenshot of the Fed day because especially in the market environment like this, usually Fed days are not volatile like this. The market doesn't even move. Like, okay, nothing's changed, nothing's going on, there's nothing to see here, folks. Okay, right now that's not the case, right? There's inflation, there's a lot going on in the world. So now Fed days, for me, this helps me trade Fed days, right? Again, I have taken so many screenshots of the Fed days from the past year and a half since we've been in this bear market. They usually will trade just about the same, over and over. If you were to look at, if I were to put up 6 Fed meetings, I guarantee you could almost find 2 of the same Fed meetings out of those 6 to 8 meetings that they somewhat traded alike. At least one. That, like, what I mean by 2 is like this day and this day, they're pretty damn near alike, right? Again, stocks only trade so many ways. So this is currently what I'm looking at for the SPY. So for right now, this area is holding as resistance. So why did I grab puts real quick? And again, I'm going to go back into the SPY because I still have stuff that I want to talk about. I grabbed puts because, again, we had the gap up. So if you guys are new here, if you could take this time to like, share, and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to. There's some people that I would like to bring on this stream, right? So thank you. It's greatly appreciated. It really is. And if you have any questions, if you need any type of help with trading, if there's something that, whether it's charting, trading, throw it in the chat. I would love to help you. The members in chat would love to help you. So in the playbook, I've said this so many times, guys. And they know it because I say it happened. I've traded this so many times. I didn't trade it today. I traded Tesla. But look, we had a nice down day. We get a gap up. And what do we look for? We look for the close or the low to hold, right? We had a pretty decent gap up. So it doesn't surprise me that we didn't get back down there. You know, it's about $1.50 away. So right now, why I grabbed puts is because we are. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be in my head now. I feel like we could get our pullback because I feel like we need to test this level again to really get our teeth sunk in if we're going to go higher. If we're going to go higher, I still feel like you haven't made this break in this resistance a pre-market, or, well, I guess you did make this here support. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm going to be wrong. I'm not always right. I'm just telling you guys what I see, how I'm analyzing it. And if you guys see something different, throw it in the chat. Let me know. What is it that I'm not seeing? Right? I only have two eyes. I only have one half of a brain. Again, I just figured we get this gap up and go. Chances are, if there is a revert to the mean, you know, I should be able to get, you know, even if I get a pullback to, you know, 448.50 is where I'm like nice and profitable, because I did grab these off of this whatchamacallit, and they weren't even hardly down. These puts weren't even down. Like, they might be I think they're down, like they were down maybe, like they were hardly down. These things were hardly down when I looked at them. So that really, to me, on this running up, if those options would have like decayed on me, kind of, not necessarily decayed, but a lost value, that would have told me this at least the puts that I'm in. Because again, if you're new, you really want to know what is the best options if you're going to play them. Which ones are going to give you the most benefit? Which ones are going to pay you the fullest? There's a fine line. There's a fine line from buying too far out and the stock just moving a whole bunch, and then it moves so much that it starts to revert, and as soon as it starts to revert is when you started to get paid. There's also the other fine line of where you're buying so close to the money that every little move is ticking you out because it's just draining. It's just going all over the place. You know, what you want to do is join us live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. We go over all those. At least I go through them. The chat goes through them. We give ourselves, like, what options are we in, right? What options are we in? The trade today, if you're a person who buys 10, 20, depending on what it is, because I can't just say if you're a person that does that, because again, it's all about percentages. Like, who's to say a $5 option price versus a 30-cent option price? You know, you're going to be, obviously. So, plain and simple, today, if you would have bought 10 puts, when I called this out in chat and I fully went over it before I took the trade, I gave us our targets because I watched it back and I remember my screen was freezing up on me. Well, the right side of the screen, I wasn't able to move it. Like, I wasn't able to move it and get my charts dialed in. So I had to reload, which was okay. There was still enough time. But before that, I gave us the targets. I said, this is my target. This is where I'm going to take my last piece of profit. I took it in front of it. I took it about 70 cents away, right? When I'm in options, or when I'm going to take an option, I am, as that stock is like pulling, or like, let's say if I'm short and it's pulling into like $80 and I want to be short at 80. As it's coming up to 80, I'm giving it, it's up in the 80, boom, I'm taking it, trying, because I have spent time, and I still do, working on your entries. That is going to help you so much with losing less. And that is the name of the game. Losing less than you make when you're right versus when you're wrong, right? You can't lose more on your wrong trades than you make on your right trades. You are just going to go to zero. It's just a matter of time, okay? So you have to first understand and see how the markets move. If you're new, give it time. Maybe just do the stock. Don't even worry about options. I don't care if it's just a couple shares, okay? Get used to the market first. Do not rush it. You don't need to rush it. And if you're not new, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. All right? Some of you guys out there that are veterans, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a matter of time before you're done. Mathematically, if you lose more than when you're wrong, or even when you're right and you just stop out, if you're losing more than when you make on your right trades, it's just a matter of time before you go to zero, right? So let's get into it. Even though I've already gotten into it, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much again. There's 2 to 3 people that I have in mind that I want to reach out to and bring them on, right? I think you guys will enjoy it. I think I'll enjoy it. They have some great insight and so a lot of great things to offer, and I'd like to be able to bring them on. Again, if you're new, you take your time, ask questions. You can start here by asking questions and stuff. So this is just basically my SPY put that I bought at the end of the day. So what I did, why did I buy calls? Because of what I just showed you guys. I pulled up the hourly chart without pre-market and after hours, and we were sticking this level. And that's all the move I was kind of really caring about, because I knew that we would get to here. I knew it. We broke this. It was actually right here. We started to make this support. As you can see to the left, see this support here, right? It's not that clear, but if I take off pre-market and after hours, it's actually a lot clearer. That's where this line is. So the hourly chart, it was holding it, and I said, let me get this long real quick. I got the pullback, and those puts, we're green. I'm holding them though. I have a reason. I have a target, so I'm going to stick to it. As long as the trade makes sense. Now, if something changes, I will be out of those puts. Okay, I will be out of them. And again, I did not load the boat. This is not even a normal position. This isn't even half of my normal position size. I grabbed a couple. I just grabbed a couple because of the simple fact that we gapped up, and I want to see if this area is going to be resistance for us to put in, start possibly putting in a higher low. Right? Do we start trying to work our way back up? But we could trade sideways with CPI. But if I get back down here, I'm green. Even with tonight. Even with having the time decay over through tonight. All right, so let's get into so I covered the credit stuff. There's earnings and stuff we can go over. I'm not sure if you guys didn't see the short. Check out the short that I put out earlier. The Lucid that my dad drove. Actually, the Lucid that is in my short, my dad took that and had at least, I don't know if it's still standing. It probably is. But he has the land speed record for Lucid. For a Lucid vehicle, land speed record, that vehicle, that Lucid that is in the short, it is in, that is it. That is the car. He said they have 2 more ordered, 2 more brand new ones. And I got to tell you guys, I've seen a Lucid, I've seen a couple of them out. But these, the top tier, the top of the top shelf, guys, I gotta tell you, I don't think they get enough credit. Look at the brakes on that thing, guys. The brakes on that thing are humongous. The car is beautiful, guys. It is a beautiful car. It really is. I don't think Lucid gets enough credit. I look at Rivian, and I get the space that they're in is actually hard. I see why, again, automotive is capital intensive as it is. Building a factory, getting the building, getting the workers, the engineering, the robots, the this, that, the production, the cost of material. Do you see just those things, how cost intensive it is to have an automotive business, right? That's probably why a lot of people don't go in that business. But the few that do, and it's even tougher for Lucid because of the simple fact that they're targeting that that type of buyer, that top tier buyer, right? You know, the person that's going to be able to afford a $120,000 vehicle, $80,000 vehicle. Now they have the lower ones, obviously, but their margins, I would assume. Oh, there's my little Olive. I'm coming. I got the little cat outside. She's hungry. I got to go feed her in a minute. So I'm going to go over this Tesla trade. I'm going to go over the market and stuff. But I wanted to show you guys that if you guys want to check out the short. It was a little dirty. It was dirty in the picture. He was actually taking it and getting it cleaned afterwards. But it was nice to see it up close and whatnot. That like that model. It's a beautiful car. That's all I have to say. I think they don't get enough credit. It's a beautiful vehicle. It really is. So that was my SPY put that I bought at the end of the day. Again, I did offset it with calls that are no longer. They are no more. On this pullback, I grabbed calls because I look. Because if I dumb it down, if I go, you know, like look what we were doing, right? You turned it into support. You turned this into support. This 449.87, right? This whole area got turned into support. Once we did that, and this rejection didn't happen, once we broke back above, I already knew it. Once we broke back up above this level, I said this morning. So I go over everything in the morning when we trade live right here on YouTube. Right, 7:30 to 4, IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. I go over the levels, and I already said and told members in chat, here and here. Here and here. 450, 450, I'm sorry, and then 451. Those were the two areas that I was looking to say, hey, are we going to turn this into resistance? What would be really cool, though, is because, again, like I said, I don't mean to keep going over it, the gap up, right? The run up to 454, boom, boom. Since you have a gap up, what if we get a gap down and then we get a nice little run to finish back down here? But we might need some news for that. Again, that's like 4 or 5 points. It's 4 points depending on where we open tomorrow. We could get a gap up tomorrow. We could gap up above this level here, right? And then we could start putting in that lower high if we're going to go lower for there. Because first, I have not looked to see if we filled the gap to the left, which I don't think we have. I still think we have some gaps to the left that we got to worry about. The Qs. So the Qs have put in their they have a nice looking chart. The Qs do. The Qs have a really nice looking chart. So if we are going to get lower, I want to see if we get to like the Fed day. I want to see if we get here, guys, and it's 454 and see if we make it a lower high. But no, we have not made this area support yet. So we'll see what happens. Again, do we just put in a higher low here? You know, 451.50. Right? You guys probably can't see it. These are the things I'm thinking about. So again, I just put the position on small. If I lose money, it's okay because guess what? The amount that I bought on those positions, I still have a ton of profit from Tesla. So those shares, this loss was pretty much made free. This was a free, let's see if we get a little pullback to the downside to try and bring in more buyers going into CPI only to possibly roll it over. So if I go to the daily chart, so I'm going to start running through these charts. And if you guys have any charts, any trade ideas, please throw them in the chat. I turned this chart on and I cleaned them up and everything. Give me 1 second. My cat's trying to come in. Sorry about that. I had to let her in. So we are trying to work our way to the 50-day. I think we need a healthy pullback, guys. I want to see if we can reject this 9 EMA. You know, we have a gap up. We have a gap right here over top of us. Do we start to try and curl ourselves up and around? You know, I don't know. We've already made this into resistance. Is it going to go try and hit that again? I don't know. Do we come up here? Do we fill the gap to turn around? Maybe. Maybe I should have held those calls. But again, with the gap up and the rally, if I can just get a nice pullback, I can make some money. Right? And that's all. If they go to zero, again, that's why the market is, you know, it's risk. You know, it is what it is. You have to earn the right to take the risk. Right? And if you see something or have a reason behind something, I know where I'm getting out. Plain and simple. I bought at where I thought was a decent area to buy. If it goes against me, it goes against me. No big deal, right? I did not load the boat on puts, right? I did not load the boat on puts. So let's look at the Qs. The Qs look really nice, guys. I'm going to try and like kind of speed through this stuff because I don't want to like just talk about the same thing forever. If you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat. If you're just joining us, as I see a couple people, if you guys could, like I was telling members earlier and telling them earlier that if you could, please like and subscribe. All right, maybe share this with a friend, somebody that would like to have a group, a trading group to come to for free. We do this free 99. I'm trying to get my likes and subscribers up. One, because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, but more importantly, two, there are some people that I'm trying to bring aboard that like I would like to bring on for us, because it's not only would help benefit me, but it would help benefit you. And I mean benefit me as in the information that they provide with the questions that I would be able to ask. There's a couple people that I'd like to interview that I'd like to bring on, and you know, if I get my subscribers and likes up, we can do it. So look at the Qs, guys. It's just a beautiful chart. So the Qs are at resistance, right? Look at that perfect resistance. So maybe I should have just went after the Qs. Let's throw on this chart. So the Qs have touched the double top, right? Do the Qs, like, what happens from here? What happens? Well, I'm not making any decision until we get CPI, because we could just run up and fill this gap up until CPI, and then CPI changes that. That's easily possible, right? We did not put in a new lower low on the Qs either, if you notice, right? This level is holding firm. So if the Qs are going to lead higher, you have to be mindful that the SPY, the IWM, like you have to be mindful that the SPY and those type of names are going to go higher. This morning, that's what I wanted to get into. Why did I take... There is a lesson behind this Tesla trade, and we're going to get into it right now. Right? If you want me to give you these levels on the Qs, I can come back to it and give them to you. I want to focus on this, right? There's a video. It was storming. I was going to get it up, but it was storming pretty bad here. 60, 70 mile an hour winds. It was pretty crazy. So that's why I was late coming on. So I told members, and I told everyone that's in chat that, what am I going to be looking at for the day, right? So if I look at the SPY or the Qs, okay, did the Qs, how did they close Friday, right? Did they close lower on Friday? I think they did. Yes, they did. They did close lower, okay? So if I go to, I know a lot of the major indexes closed lower. So what are some stocks that closed green Friday? Well, Microsoft's one. No, it isn't actually. Microsoft closed down. Okay. I know I had a few on here. I could have swore I had a few that closed that were still somewhat green. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It did not make new lows. I think that's what I was saying. So, like the Qs held up. So, let's go to like AMZN. We know that they were up. They actually did put in a... No, they did, but they didn't. Dang it. So if we go to Tesla, we'll go into that trade now. Because I thought this morning I said, what are the stocks? So Tesla did not make a new low. Did the SPY make a new low? No, I forget. And I do apologize because this storm kind of threw me off. So yes, the SPY made a new low. So what was I looking at? I know like Apple, right? Apple obviously made a new low. It's just getting hammered. Apple's getting hammered, right? And the RSI is still creeping up just on that little bit. That's crazy. So Apple put in a new low. I was thinking of stocks that that didn't put in a new low. Let's see here. Maybe I was off. There was somewhere that I was going with. Maybe I was looking at the chart wrong. Today is Monday, right? Am I losing my mind? So, if you guys have any charts, any trade ideas, if you could throw them in chat so that I can go maybe give us some ideas, something to trade. There are some IPOs that I wanted to go over too. I will go over them in the morning. you could probably just go up and look up the new IPOs for this week. But we do have a few IPOs coming out this week. I also wanted to tell you guys that I forgot you yesterday. I did not get into that, but that's okay. We'll get into the earnings. So that's what I was saying with members was like, watch to see what stocks made like new lows or didn't make new lows for the stocks that I want to be long and the stocks that I want to be short, right? Microsoft is somewhat still in an uptrend even with the down day. As you've seen Apple, it's in a downtrend. So if we go to like, let's go to like Netflix. There was something with this, right? Was this Friday for Netflix? Wow. That's Friday, right? Yeah, it is. I think this is what I was getting at because I could have swore that like Microsoft did something like that where they just did not sell off as much as some of the other names did. No, Microsoft did sell off. So I forget what names I was looking at. So for that, I do apologize, guys. It's like CVX on Friday. It just continued throughout the day. As you can see, Netflix, it did not. I'm going to want to be watching Disney as well for the earnings, but so it did not make like Disney. It didn't make a new low, right? It's probably the Dow names is where I got that from. So let's go into the trade real quick. I do apologize about that part of the stream, guys. I do apologize. So like Boeing, it did not make a new low going into the day. So I was saying, and as you can see, look at this candle. Look at that candle. So in the morning, I said, take notice to some of the stocks on Friday that did not put in new lows versus stocks that were continuing to put in lows. Those are the stocks you want to be, short versus the stronger names that you want to have for the long side. So you can, I guess hedge your position, but play both sides. In the bear market, I can't tell you how many times I had a short and I had a long and they both worked for me. I had two winning trades on at the same time, right? Sometimes I'll have a few trades on, right? I haven't done it yet on the stream because, again, I've been setting the stream up, learning with the stream, and just learning the education that goes behind doing this, and then trying to do research, and then trying to do the live streams, and so on and so forth. There's only so much time that is in the day and night. So, but you will see that. You'll see me do that from time to time. If I have a weak stock, I will be short, and I will be long something long, and I'm going to be hitting it on both ways. And if something changes, I'll cut the one and I'll ride that long or the weak one, whichever the direction is. It's something maybe you guys should think about. If you don't know, now you know. Or ask me if you want, like, how do I go about doing it? I can help you with that. And you do what you do with your money. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just giving you ideas on some of the things that I can do that could possibly help you manage your risk. That's all about managing risk. If you get a move, you guys have to be taking profit. You have to. Because it's foolish for anyone to sit here and say, I know where the top is and I know where the bottom is. We don't know how far it's going to go, up or down. We don't know. We don't know, like the SPY the other day, just cutting through the levels. I forget what the other one was that we got short. It just cut through all the levels. I forget what that trade was. Once you thought it was going to stop and hold and maybe just bounce back to bring in more shorts, nope, cut it. You didn't see that coming. You can only read so much out of the time and sales in level 2 and the way the stock's reacting. Once it broke the first two levels, it's like, hey, we don't know where this is going to stop. Chances are it's just going to continue to cut levels until it gets down to, that major area of support, right? But you don't know when the things are going to shift. So let's get into the Tesla trade. Huge trade. Made my day. If I play my cards right, it's going to make my week. Again, like I said, if you were to have bought 10 of these contracts, 10 of these contracts would have netted you over $2,000. Okay, let's get into the Tesla trade. Let's do it. I did not have Tesla on my list in the morning. I really didn't have much, right? I didn't have much. We got news. right? What was the news? Tesla's CEO, CFO is stepping down, which this is all, we knew that this was coming. At least I did. I forget where I heard it from, whether it was, I think it was the earnings call, and the last earnings that he was probably going to be stepping down. But look at that break and retest. We might be able to get a day 2 continuation out of this if the markets are able to pull back. We might be able to get a day 2 continuation. I don't know though, because it looks like it's holding it as support right now. All right. In the morning, my charts were messing up a bit. It's all good. I wasn't in a rush. I tried to stay cool, calm, and collective. I did get irritated with my charts. I did curse. It's all good. It happens. I'm human. So I did not miss the trade. What I did was I first went to the weekly chart, right? And I looked, I said, hey, we do have weakness. This stuff is all live, guys. You have this major level of resistance and support here. And the 50 weekly moving average, where's it at? It's right there also. Chances are, if we continue with this weak month of August, weak month of September, if we're going to have a week 2 months, chances are you see Tesla back down here in the 200s. Chances are pretty likely. Again, for now, you're going to want to hold this 245.97, 245 area. 245 area is the area you need to be watching for. So you came down and tapped it today. So I seen the 50-day or the 50 weekly moving average. I said, okay, what else did I see? There's a lot of lines because I traded it. Oh, would you look at that? That's the 100 weekly moving average also. That's right here. All right, there's your 100 weekly moving average. I start with the weekly, I go to the daily, I look at the bigger picture, and then I draw myself in. The weekly charts will help you see things pretty clear. If you don't do it, I would. Because if you get a random like major support that you thought was minor, chances are there might be a weekly moving average or a daily moving average that you're not seeing. Right? Kind of looks like you're putting in an ugly, like mutated Head and Shoulders. There's our 50-day. This blue circle. Right? That blue circle right there, that is our 50-day moving average. Look at that. So this morning I came in and I said, after the news, right as the bell was ringing and before we were going over this, Tesla started about like 10 minutes before the bell opened. It just started diving. I said, okay, what's going on? So I look, there's news. Oh, hello. We have news. So what happens? We gap below the 50-day. We got, as the bell opens, from when the bell opened, with that news, we gapped below the 50-day. And I said, literally it's recorded, I said, guys, we could probably just trade this stock on the daily chart. Why is that? Because I said, we're going to look for a bounce back to the 50-day to get short up here around 253, 254. 254 is what I said. Right? 254. Is where we want to look in that area to get short. Now you have the close right here. The close would be my entry, right? At least in front of it, around it. Tesla, you got to give this thing a little bit of room to let it do what it does. Now we did not touch it, but you pretty much, that's a touch. Like, would you consider that a hold of the 50-day here and here? I mean, this was, and it still didn't even touch it. But anyway. 50-day moving average, we are short, lock it in, big trade today, this morning, guys. Let's go. Let's do it. Had my hand on the trigger. Let's go about it. What did I do? I said, hey, let me pull up like an hourly chart, something to give myself some time. Let me take off pre and after hours market, right? I did it with both, but it's important that you guys still look at these without pre-market. At least use both. Use both, because really what happens during 9 to 4, 9:30 to 4 is what really happens. That's really setting the stage, right? Is actual market hours that's setting the stage. Now, if something goes and hits something resistance in pre-market and then it moves off of it, okay. I'm just saying, for the most part, You want to see these because they also help you see things clear. They'll help you see the levels that are really clear, like this base. You may not see that base right there, right? That is also the 50-day that Tesla's sitting at 254. You may not see that with pre-market and after hours. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, okay? So I said, what do we have? What do we have here? Because I want to know, where is my targets? Where's my targets? Where am I shorting this thing to? Where am I getting out if I'm wrong? And where am I taking profits? And why am I in the trade? So let's go over it. It's a playbook, right? You get a gap below the 50-day. We have a news catalyst that the CFO is stepping down. We have a news catalyst backed by a technical catalyst. Add the two up. You have yourself a winning trade if you know what you're doing, right? So I go over, I get my levels. I'm saying, yo, we're breaking this level for the most part. Did I let the stock? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to get another bounce to the 50-day or not. I don't know that. But I know how to read a chart, and I know how to read an active candle at that time. So what do? I say, all right, we have a pivot low down here, right? We have a pivot low. We have a gap fill here. We have this pivot low right here. You could call it, I mean, really, from where the candles closed was right here, and that's where the candles closed. But maybe I was on a half hour. You know, I can't remember. I still got this level from somewhere. This was my final target. It might have been the weekly chart. I can't remember. I probably had pre-market or whatever on. There's a reason why I had this level, unless it got moved or something. But this was on watch, this area. 242, the low 240s. You have a pivot low here. This was my target that I wrote in chat, though. Right? This was the target that I wrote in chat. I said, guys, oh, this is from the weekly moving average. I'm sorry, you're right. This is from the weekly one. This is what I did here. This here. 247. I wrote it in chat. So maybe it wasn't, because the 200s was the weekly. I wrote it in chat, guys. I said 247 is the target. Now, if I can bring up, will it let me bring it up? Let's see here. Guys, just to show you guys. Wait. Hold on. No. I just want to show you guys, because I'm going to start doing this. Right? I'm going to start doing this because in case somebody can't hear, or, you know, for all those reasons. Whether somebody's just at work and they, you know, whatever. No, that's not what I want. Okay, live trading. This was here, right? There we go. So, Tesla's short if it breaks 247 target. So, I was doing this quick because I'm trying to take the trade. Technically, I'm trying to say, if the level up here that we had breaks, okay? I had a 3-minute chart up. So let me do this one more time, guys. I do apologize. I know it's a pain in the arse. Okay. So I said Tesla short. Right? I said Tesla short. Let's move this up. I hate all the clicking that I have to do. I really do. It stinks. I could just go to a bigger time frame. 251 is where we were at. 251.50. Right? This is with these three tails, and I said it. These tails are getting put in. We cracked VWAP, and we're holding VWAP. Initial morning, the pre-market low is actually right here as well. Right? The pre-market low is here. You never closed above that pre-market low. That was also a sign that I did not see until after the trade. So these are some things that I could write in, because you want to watch where a stock closes. So again, we have a news catalyst backed with a technical catalyst of a gap below the 50-day, and when you look for that bounce back to turn to that 50-day to make that not support anymore, to possibly make it resistance. You gap below it, it bounces back up to touch it, and then you look for the short. That's an entry is what that is. Because the entry at the 50-day roughly tells you that if that 50-day does not continue to hold it as resistance, and the stock doesn't come down and it decides to break up through it, Tesla, you have to give it a little bit of room. But by you being short up there, your risk to reward now is at its best. Because you know you only need this a little bit to know if it starts closing higher and the candles are closing high. If the trade has changed, like I say, write it down. Has the trade changed? I always try to give these little things for members and stuff. If you could, it's free 99. Like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. I have some people that I'm trying to bring on here that'll benefit us both. Not me, but us, as in asking questions and digging, getting some ideas and stuff from some of these from some of these big traders that I would like to interview. Just people in the financial markets, that could give us, some insight that I'd like to interview. So again, buying or being short at that 50-day is a target. If you guys do not know your moving average, again, I'm still working on them. I have videos. Moving averages are areas of buying or selling. Those are areas where you want to put your orders or take your orders out because they're going to act as a support or resistance. Okay? It gives you the best risk to reward because if that 50-day does not hold or does not turn into resistance, you stop out, you move on to the next trade. It's okay. You're not always going to be right, but entering positions at the right time for the right reasons is going to give you the making more when you're right and losing less when you're wrong. And that's what it's going to give you. Yes, PLTR. Oh, that's awesome. I did see that they're also doing a stock buyback. We're going to get into that. So, 50-day, we're short. Guys, where did I enter? Entered right here. This is where we entered. At least I entered. I told members in chat what I was doing, why I was doing it, where I was doing it. And as I'm doing it, I need you guys to know that when I do these too, my hand is practically on the trigger with my orders already set to go. Sometimes, majority of the time, like here, I will market order in, especially a lot of the type of options that I'll trade. The spread's not even that big. I don't care about missing it by 1 or 2 cents. All right. Yes. Okay. I bought 10 contracts. So what did I miss it by 2 or 3 and then paying my commissions? I don't care. The trade, if I'm right, is going to give it to me. Trying to limit order and do this and that, it could cause you to miss the trade. If you have a trade, a real trade, you shouldn't have to worry about limit ordering in unless you have a ridiculous spread. That's obviously different. Okay? Maybe you're using that wide spread as your advantage, but in this case, this ain't the case. I wanted in and I wanted in now. That's what a market order is that you don't care at what price, you just want in. But I know the brokerages that I use, I know that my orders are I rarely get fat fingered if I do it because I try to enter right. But sometimes there has been a past, even a couple weeks ago it happened, but that's a whole nother story. Because I was entering wrong anyway. So look at this thing. It fell out of bed, guys. My target, like I showed you guys in the comment section, okay? If this level breaks, 247 is the target. I only needed a few dollars. There's 251.50. Well, guess what? It broke, right? And if you go back and watch it on a live stream, we rejected this VWAP, and I say, here it goes. I said, here it goes, right? What happened? It went. First piece of profit on this trade was on this level right there. I am locking it in at this level. I'm locking it in right there. Got to. I got to take it. Because who's to say that this thing don't just go back up to the 50-day? Now oh my gosh. Like, did I get in too early? Did I not? Guys, I took this trade early. When I mean early, 369. Damn, she fine. 369. Look, 39. That's so funny. So 939, I was in this trade right around, I was in up here. So not too long after this candle opened, I was short because it opened right at VWAP and you were not closing, why did I get in it? Well, first off, and where's my stop, right? My stop is going to be above this 50-day, but more importantly, the 50-day is right with Friday's close. The 50-day is right with Friday's close. If I start having candles start closing up above the close, if I start having candles close up above Friday's close, then I'm wrong and I need to figure out where my entry is going to be. Maybe this isn't the short. And if it is a short, it's not right now. But guess what? When I come out with volume like this, and like this, that tells me chances are I ain't wrong and I ain't early. Look at that volume, guys. Right? Look at that volume. That is the other reason why I took this trade. The consistent volume that was there. That's all of that. The fact that you had that small wick to the 50-day, right? The markets as well, if you go back and watch the video, the SPY and the Qs were up at resistance, getting ready to turn over, just like these tails. That is pretty much the SPY turning itself over as well. Okay? So if I go to the SPY real quick, and I mean, I don't need to do this, but I can. So if the SPY's turning over and I want to be short Tesla, that's only going to help me get that follow through if the markets are going to turn themselves around. So look there, right? This is a 1 minute chart. Look at this. 937, 938, 939. What do you get? Right? Right there, guys. This is, again, is a 1 minute candle. Right there. 939. Where did we get short? 939. So, again, the volume, the break of the 50 and the retest of Friday and the 50-day that lined up, I got short. Seen those wicks, I was in. We opened right here below VWAP, bang, it's on. Right? It's on. Again, you could not close above VWAP. You couldn't close above VWAP on a 3 minute chart. I have a ton of volume coming in, and as soon as this came in, we finished it off with this type of volume. I was comfortable. I took some off there. I took the majority of the position off right there, and then there. 48, 34. It was right there. I took two. I took the majority of my stuff off right there, guys. I apologize. Because my target was 247. So I took the rest off here because once we got this little bounce back to turn this initial morning low right here, we turned that into resistance, right? Bounce. Well, it's like bounce and it comes down, bounce, and then it turns it into resistance. I felt it. On this candle, it's not that I felt it, I seen it. Like, I can see a 3 minute candle or a 5 minute candle, 2 minute candle, 1 minute candle. I can see on whatever time frame that it is, that it's going to an area and it's pulling back from it. I can see it. Because what will happen is in that candle, as it's pulling back, you'll see it go and it'll pull back and that volume bar will increase. That volume bar will increase and I'm like, all right, bet. You know, I already know that this is the initial morning low, right? That's the initial morning low candle. It wicked, right? It just did a pivot low, bang, and down. So my last pieces were here, right? I took off here, and then I took the last three off down here. I said, with this type of follow through, how much more am I going to get paid for this 75-cent move, right? That's it. Guess what? Those contracts were nice. They were nice, guys. That's all I'm going to say. I think they opened up, it was like, I don't know, at 9:30 something. I can't remember what I paid for. What was it? Like, it was like low 300s, high two. I'm pretty sure it was like the low 300s. I can't remember what I got filled because I got filled. I was typing in chat. I didn't care about how much I was paying for them or what my entry price was because when I just instinctively felt that was it, that we were not going to be able to close above VWAP in this level, once we really rejected this 251, and then I had the SPY right there, turning itself around on resistance. That's all I needed. I got the market at my back. I got the rejection of the 50-day, and I got news. That's it. Guess what? You could have held this trade, made it a day trade. I am trying to just start the week off right. And listen, your job as a trader is not to catch the whole move. You're not going to know what the whole move is. Because if you were to get short and you hold, right, and it bounces back, right? Yes, it makes another down leg, but who's to say that bounce back, this bounce back, and that bounce back, and this hold forever how long it is, now it's 11 o'clock. How much more do you think you're going to make on those contracts getting down here? You probably messed yourself up on time, and you're not having really the momentum because, look, you come down, bang, but you have these little candles, and then it goes back up, and then you get one candle down, and then it just goes back up, and then it goes, instead of this, boom, 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 boom. That's what I want, because I guarantee you there wasn't too much more left on those contracts after I got off down here at our target, right? When I got off at in that 247 area, I got out at the high 247s, because why am I getting out there? Because as it's going into that level, I'm selling it into strength. I'm getting the best fill that I can, right? It went a little bit more, but who cares? That momentum, pretty much, I captured a great portion of that trade. I got the meat and bones, the meat and potatoes of that trade. It was such a good trade. I was so thankful to be able to take it, recognize it, hurry up in a matter of 10 minutes, break it all down, and help members in chat. If you guys are there, or if you guys don't know, you're just joining us, welcome. We trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. And again, if you could, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers too. There are some people that I would like to bring in on this stream that will benefit all of us to get their insights. Okay, the only way I can do that is if I get likes and if I have some subscribers. But more importantly, I'm trying to get it to 100. I'm going to be selfish. I want to get to 100. It's a goal of mine. If you find this information valuable, join us, hit the notification, subscribe. I wanted to get into this. So that was the Tesla trade in a nutshell, guys. That was the Tesla trade in a nutshell. It was a playbook set up with a news catalyst tied in with a technical catalyst, and the technical catalyst matched the news. That is a playbook you're going to want to have. If you have a CFO of a major company stepping down, you're going to want to look at the chart, right? Because we got below the 50-day. You had the 50-day right up above you. You want to look for that bad news. You know, who's going to replace them? We don't know the type of job they're going to do. So does this help bring Tesla 200? I don't know. So we just don't know who we have. This stock could continue to go down probably. Maybe not. It is trying to hold up here. You know, you did close right up about where we opened, but that's just kind of a big break and retest, I guess. Who's it going to be? Who's going to fill in his shoes? Maybe that news is already out, and that's why you got the rally. I don't know. But that's a nice trade there. That's some nice follow through. But look how fast this thing went from 251.50, right? 251.30 is, 251.30 to 247. Right? It did it in 369. 9 minutes. Right? How long did it take to get that? Right? Now, granted, you buy time on the options. You know, it all depends on what options you buy. Look how long this took. I don't know how much more you would have even gotten paid. You probably did. I know for a fact you should have gotten paid more for every dollar. You know, that is a nice move, but I want that momentum. I put the trade on at least in the beginning of the week, right? I want to get myself good. I want to get myself right. I just want to start the week off on the right foot, and we were able to do so today. Thankfully, we were able to come in and do the damn thing. We're probably going to be trading PLTR, Datadog, and all these other names tomorrow. Just so you guys know. Palantir had earnings. They came right in line from what I remember. They actually beat earnings, and there is a share buyback. Okay, they did beat, but I think it was like, for some reason I thought that they were like they just beat, like it wasn't by anything crazy. They must have said something good, I guess, with, like you said, trying to get into the S&P. I think it takes what, 4 consecutive quarters of profitability or 2 consecutive quarters. I think it's 2 quarters consistent profitability. You have the opportunity to join the S&P 500. Um, Obviously, if you know your market cap's big enough. Beyond Meat, right? What if Beyond Meat today had good earnings? If only they had good earnings with the short that is on this thing, guys. This could have been the short squeeze of a lifetime if they came out with good earnings, but not yet. I would like to see what happens when it gets down to 1339. Not sure if it's there now, but 1339, so it did break it. It did break 1339 area. So yeah, Palantir, I will be looking at that tomorrow. Lucid, we already know how Lucid was going to be. They did not, not the hottest thing in the world, but look, they kind of went up. And that's why I did that short. If you haven't checked that short out, you'll have to go check it out. That car is actually was at one point and probably still is, because I don't think there's too many people that just buy that type of Lucid and set a land speed record with it. Well, that's the vehicle that has had it or still does have it. I don't know. So they do that. They have a lot. They actually, my dad, his friends have they have like Mustang, Corvette, and Dodge over 200 miles an hour, right? They're all new. The Challenger, Mustang, and Camaro. It's a Yenko Camaro with over 1,000 horses. I think it's like a 2022 or 2023, maybe 2022. I'm not too sure. It might be like a 2021 or 2022, I think, guys. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's really cool. And I tell you what, guys, that car doesn't get enough credit. That car is so beautiful. It's just beautiful, and it's like, it's not like a Tesla. It's like there's craftsmanship in it. Once you look at that car, you're like, man, the craftsmanship that is in this thing, I don't think people really give the credit to Lucid that they should. I really don't. I really don't think they should or do. And I'm telling you right now, it's balls to the walls quick. It's so quick. It's so quick. It's so quick. Pretty much I get like that Lucid, you would compare that to the Tesla Plaid, I guess. But it's to me, that thing is up there. It's just everything about it. Everything about that Lucid, it's like there's just so much craftsmanship in it compared to, let's just make margins and a car as cheap as we can over at Tesla. So again, that's why Lucid's struggling, because they're targeting that base. That's the type of buyers that they want, okay? So they have to deal with less sales. Tesla's just out there to bring out an electric vehicle, whether it's a little Toyota or if it's a Supra, or that's still Toyota, or if it's a Ferrari, right? They're Tesla's trying to play both sides of the field there, with just offering a vehicle to like at a price that just about everyone can afford, versus a Lucid where you're only going to have a few people that are going to want to spend money, 120, 130 grand, 100 grand. I don't know what the prices are now. 85, 90 grand on a car like that, But I can assure you that thing's probably, when they walked out the door today, probably was around 120, 100 grand. But anyway, so that's on the short that I posted earlier. I was like, nice. This might be good for Lucid's earnings. It's just ironic. So we had that. So we have earnings tomorrow. We have some nice earnings tomorrow that I want you guys to watch for, because, and if you guys could comment in chat anything you guys are watching, charts or anything, we could always run through some charts. I want to go feed this cat real quick. So, but that was the Tesla trade. That was the trade of the day for myself. This chart here too, guys. That chart is so important. I feel like it's a chart of 1,000 words if it could talk. So there we go. Tomorrow, Lilly, UPS. When is it? So tomorrow night we have Rivian, Upstart, right? Twilio, Marathon, okay? Celsius, LAZR, Laser, Luminar. And then we have Roblox Wednesday morning. So that's when it was, Roblox. I'm really looking to... I haven't traded Roblox in so long. We have Plug. We have Trade Desk, one of my favorite stocks. Penn National Gaming. Wynn Resorts. So we do still have a few earnings with... you have... Why is Canopy Growth on here? Wendy's. And then you have Alibaba on Thursday morning. So we have a lot of... we still have a few earnings left to go. When is NVIDIA earnings? Do you guys know when they are? It's got to be coming up sometime soon. And NVIDIA is actually looking like... I did not trade... It's so weird that I did not trade semiconductors today. I have just been tearing apart AMD the past week. Last week was a big trade for me. And I wonder how Carvana's doing. So NVIDIA broke back up above, and it looks like it's holding. I'm curious if NVIDIA tries to come up here and fill this gap. Did NVIDIA report already? I know they had blowout earnings before, right? Bang. And then it's like, wow, they don't report all the way until the end of the month? What the hell? All right. Okay. Do you guys have anything for me other than that on the SPY and the Qs? So for the Qs, I want to see this thing get up to, I want to start seeing the Qs. Honestly, I want to see if we get up here, right? I want to see us get here. I want to see us get in this area. We probably can. No, so there was a little bit of downside in the Qs, it looks like. But that doesn't mean, again, this is the same area as I told you guys on the SPY, remember? Right here, the support, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance. Now it's support. They're playing with this area. It's the same thing on the SPY. If this holds, obviously my put's going to be down. But what do we want to look for? I kind of want to see if we test this area. And what does that do? That puts in a lower high for us. You know, is it there? Is that where I set it? Now I can't remember. I think that's it, though. I think that was it right here. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. It's an hourly chart. That's why it looks weird. Because if I take it and I put it right there, just like that, right? It's just these are levels that are just. You know, these are levels. So when I have levels like this will be like areas that you can expect a pullback off of, and then it breaks. These are not like major levels. You can be like these levels. You could be taking profit, right? You can take profit out on it at these like minor levels to manage your risk in the trade. Take profit at these levels, and then have your final, targets. Now you do whatever you guys want. Maybe you just set a trailed stop. Hold it. Maybe you take a piece out on the break. Maybe you take a quarter, if not half of the position off, and then you just let it go. Set a trailed stop. Something like that. There's all different types of ways that you can trade. There's not one way to trade. And trading's not perfect either. So, Qs, I want to see if this level holds tonight, right? 374, if that holds, futures hold. Let's see if we get a rejection tomorrow up here. That's what I'm going to be watching for. I'm going to be watching for the rejection here. Now, let's see what it looks like on the 15-minute chart. I feel like that's too high. Right? I feel like that's too high. I don't know why I'm not seeing the board right now. Maybe it's just crazy that the Qs tested that area. So there's two parts to this. So I could look at this and say the Qs are back at the double top, the prior double top. Well, the SPY isn't. Well, the Qs are leading to the downside. So therefore, the Qs are leading to the downside and they're already there. Do I just look for the Qs to break the double top and then the SPY to start pulling into its double top? There is that aspect, right? There is that aspect, but there's also the aspect of this prior support and resistance that hasn't been touched. It hasn't been touched. You touched it one time. Now, what it looks like is, are we going to roll ourselves back up and over? Bang. Where does that put us? That could put us, you play around. You play around a little bit in the Thursday and the Friday is where that would put us. Oh, she's meowing at me, guys. If you guys want to go through charts with me and stuff, just give me 5 minutes. Let me go out here and feed her real quick, and I'm actually going to run through some charts with like Boeing and stuff. You know what? We'll do it in the morning. I've been on here long enough. I am watching Boeing. Okay, I'm still watching gold. But the Qs, I'm going to go over that level for you real quick. It's coming into resistance. So if we have a down day, I will look for a pullback for Boeing. Look for 234.94 going into 232. I'll cover it in the morning. 7:30 to 4, we trade live Monday through Friday, Ivy League Trading. If you could, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. If you could, take the time, if you have not done so already, subscribe, like, comment down below, share this to a friend that would like to, be in a trading group. We do this free 99, guys. I trade live, answer questions. We all are here to help one another. We only have two eyes. I only see so many things, right? So that's going to be it for tonight, guys. That's going to be it. I will give you guys my watch list for tomorrow. We'll see what news we wake up to. I don't necessarily have anything planned right at the moment, but I do have a couple things that I'm looking at. We'll cover them in the morning. Thank you guys so much. Remember, if there's going to be a recession, don't try to predict how bad or not bad it's going to be. If there's even going to be one, give it all time. The data is showing us contraction, right? Institutional ownership, the liquidity is probably going to go to these pipelines that are paying 7 to 10%, and they're still on the rise as far as price. Like Riot, or not Riot, but like Helmerich and Payne, HP, right? What's the other one that we always trade? Why did I just have a brain fart? RIG, that's it, RIG. Like your pipelines, okay? It's got to hold support here to go higher. It has to. It doesn't have to do anything, but the last leg on this, like before it goes down, it's there. You're seeing increase in revenue here. You're seeing the volume because of the earnings calls that do take place. Listen to earnings calls. Go back and pick a couple companies from different sectors. Please go listen to the earnings and literally look at the earnings themselves. Because if you're starting to notice that some of these sales are missing, sales is revenue. They may beat on revenue now, but if they continue to keep up on lower sales and not meet their sales is revenue. I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you haven't done so already, like, share, and subscribe. I have some people that I'm really trying to bring them onto the stream. Be really awesome. I think you guys would enjoy it. I think I would enjoy it. Thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, please comment down below. If you have trade ideas, comment down below. We're all here to help. Eat. Let's get our steak dinners. Get your sleep tonight. Get ready. We're going to have another volatile day tomorrow. Remember, in the environment that we're in, we're going to have big up moves and we're going to have big down moves. The volatility is still here. Take advantage of it. Manage your risk first. No matter what type of risk management it is. Dwindle in the position or earning the right to take risk. I put on a position on a winning trade profits. There's just so many ways to do things, guys. It's just not one perfect way. But again, thank you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great night. I'll see you guys in tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:30 in the morning, probably 7 o'clock. Okay? Probably 7 o'clock. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow.